Oh boy, it has been, way too long. And, stuff's happened. Anyhow, everyone, JSD Cool here, and welcome back to Satisfactory after, over a month since the last time I streamed. And, oh yeah, hi, yes, I'm back. And now, I did want to actually do a stream over the past at least once over the past couple weeks at home. I got some new lighting and stuff so I could do green screen stuff at home, but I ran into the main reason why I didn't do it is because, well, I ran into CPU issues, which are hopefully now resolved, as actually this is the first thing I'm really doing for the most part with the new CPU, which is not broken in any way, TM, because actually, well, I'll get into that in a moment, but first, yes, welcome back to Satisfactory, and stuff has happened off camera since the last stream, which was a long time ago at this point, almost 1.5 to 2 months ago. I actually do not remember. I know it was early December, and it's almost February, so yikes. But yeah, I finished basically the nuclear power plant off camera, and yeah, this thing got quite ridiculous. I didn't realize just how big the actual reactors were, but here they all are. And this area here, and the original part of the factory, which was at first huge, is so tiny now. Yeah, the entire production chain, which should work at 100% efficiency, is, well, assuming I can supply correctly, has been put in, and all logistics have theoretically been hooked up. Hopefully, I didn't miss anything. But yeah, boy, this was a bit of a challenge to get all this done. But I powered through and eventually got it all done. I'm pretty sure I did that off camera. Additionally, once we get over here, I put in a bunch of power storage over here because I realized if this thing doesn't starts using too much power before it can start generating any power, it is well gonna overdraw what the power grid. Oh, I can't. It's all disconnected from power right now, so it doesn't actually do something. But it's going to well overdraw what our power grid can actually properly handle. So, I think I got to look over here. I put in a bunch of these power storage devices here to be able to hopefully sustain this thing running at its peak load for an hour. It won't take it nearly that long to get up and running, but it's here just in case that ends up being necessary. Now, what we have now been left to do is actually gather all the resources and bring them here. And specifically the bring them here part, because we've actually got all the resource extractors ready. They're on the grid. But the trains, you see, the trains are not in. I put in the trains for this one here, and then I made a mistake at some point. Specifically, the mistake was the trains could get stuck if that intersection up there prevented them from keep traveling. They could get stuck on this hill because they didn't have enough power to go up the hill from a stop while on the hill. So I had to put an extra engine on the trains, and they're all bunched up for this line. So first order of business today is unbunch all of the trains that are coming onto the station. I don't know where the next one is. It's probably, yeah, it's right there. Okay. This is not an easy task by any means. I gotta get a timer up on my phone, and I can't remember how exactly long it has to be between trains, but it's 2 and a bit minutes or something like that. And after I get all these trains spaced out correctly, I gotta start getting on the rest of these, because there's 7 trains on just this one line, which it's a bit scary. And we need 4 different lines, all with varying amounts of item speeds. And oh yeah, and after all the trains are in, I gotta upgrade a bunch of belts. Because okay, this guy's the first guy. Let me get my stopwatch out. So from when this guy leaves to when the next guy leaves, I'm gonna make 2.5 minutes. Or 2 minutes, let's just say. I think that's about the right spacing. It pretends it's loading right now. But yeah, I think I gotta also increase all the... Okay, there we go. I gotta increase all the belt speeds around here because I did realize something in that when the trains are loading and unloading, no items are flowing out. So if these are precisely the right speed to bring items in, they're just gonna run dry eventually when a train shows up. So I'm gonna have to... So yeah, I'm gonna have to upgrade a fuck ton of belts around here before we can actually turn this thing on. And that's going to be once we get uranium over here, so that's the last thing. Thankfully, we shouldn't have to worry about that for uranium. Uranium should be overkill on the belts. We only need 400 per minute, and 480 is what a tier 4 belt's good for, I think. So... If there was no... Oh, here it comes. I was about to say, well, if there's no train that's about to come here, then maybe I don't need to worry about spacing them out, but no, I do need to worry about it. Actually, I gotta wait for this guy to want to start moving again before I can unpause him. Because maybe they spaced themselves out, I don't know. Just, waiting for this guy to be ready to turn off self-driving. Okay, we'll turn it on right at when the stopwatch I pulled up on my phone hits 2 minutes. Because I think that rings a bell to me as the correct spacing between these trains. But yeah, this whole thing could potentially just come down and crumble from the trains getting clogged up somewhere on the network, which is horrible, terrible. So, kind of thing. Anyhow, and 2 minutes. Start the next timer. The next train is just arriving, which is not good. Yeah, we're probably going to back trains up for a bit here. That's fine, all things considered. Necessary. So anyhow, talk about my CPU now. So here's the thing with my CPU. I originally had a Ryzen 7 3800X. Not gonna bother with that right now. So I originally had a 3800X, which I've had for a couple of years. I got it used. I originally got it so I could upgrade to Windows 11 because they had the TPM chip, but then I just haven't, so yeah, that CPU outlasted my upgrade timeline for Windows 11, evidently. So then I got a 5800X for Christmas. However, it was broken. The CPU was just completely broken. I threw it in my system. The memory light on the motherboard was on, and that's it. It just stayed on. The thing was like fucking dead. I did reseat the CPU, and it briefly got to the BIOS once, but while in the BIOS at some point, the thing crashed and returned back to just having the memory light on. CPU was completely broken, so we sent that one back and got a replacement. That one seemed to work fine. However, there appeared to be an issue with the cache on one of the cores, where completely randomly, and it would take really long amounts of time to show up, there would be an error in the cache that caused the system to immediately restart. Which was very bad and annoying. And so we had to send that one back. We finally got a new one this past week, but I was already here at school. So over this weekend here, I went home, got the new CPU, and brought it back here. And I'm using it right now, and hopefully there are no issues, because it did take like a day for the previous issue or for the cache issue to pop up. It did take a day. So yeah, this is a very boring thing, having to space trains out. But unfortunately, the game, and Coffee Stain, if you're listening, please add this, a way to, like, say, put multiple trains on the same schedule and have them automatically space themselves out throughout your train track system. That would be amazing. It would solve all my problems here. But yeah. So that was the deal with my CPU. And, why I didn't stream, because it was having those issues, and I didn't... And then it just came down to I didn't feel like it after that. But yeah, so that's why I didn't do a stream over break. I did want to do one. I also don't know how well my home network would have appreciated doing a live streaming, because even with AV1, which is pretty good, like, I mean, right now, nothing's really happening on stream. It's only like 5,000 kilobits. Could definitely handle that at home, but before when I'm streaming, I've seen times when it has gone over 10,000 kilobits, which is where it wouldn't work, the home network. Additionally, I'm not the only bandwidth user there. We have the server, JRD Cool, anyone else who's wanting to have any sort of server communication. Yeah. All that data that's being sold to advertisers, oh, don't worry, that's got to have its bandwidth. Oh boy. But hey, if you haven't seen my second channel, I've started uploading some videos about my development on my game, and I can safely say that I need to work on the next video for that. But I can safely say that the next update is coming soon. Oh hey, there's not another train right now. I don't think they're all spaced out properly, because I think this is the gap in the system where they were all bunched up and then we hit the gap. But who knows? Maybe. Yeah, I'm getting very close to releasing the next minor update, which has a lot of major changes. The way I'm actually versioning things is very bad, I know, but it's kind of how I'm doing it right now is a major update effectively adds some sort of like entirely new feature to the game that relates to like the actual experience, or not the experience, but the actual like content of the levels. And it also typically will add a couple new levels in a major update. Or like a giant feature, like a really, really big feature. Like multiplayer, for instance, that would be like a major update feature. But a minor update is basically anything else, anytime else I wanted to add anything to the game that happens during a minor update. So, for instance, so far from what I've shown in the videos for this minor update, which is mostly, there's also some bug fixes I've done. We have a new shadow system. You could argue that's a major experiential change, but I've done added some minor changes. It doesn't really affect gameplay all that much. Visually it affects it, but like the actual like playing part of it isn't affected. Or what you can actually do when playing hasn't really been affected by that. And the other one is a networking change for multiplayer. Again, something that is quite big on its own, but doesn't really provide that big of a change to the experience of playing with another player, say, or playing anything. I think this train is, yeah, there's 2 minutes right there. So this train's just good to go whenever it wants. Which is right then. Okay. There are 7 trains. I think this one's number 3. Why is I don't know what's with the green. I would still like to know. That's, yeah, train 3. I don't know what's with all those arrows on the other train there. But yeah. Yeah, I think my next devlog video is gonna suck. Because I didn't really go into it, looking at recording stuff too much. I did a time lapse though. I'll put that in there. But I did basically everything. I've done basically everything else so far off camera. And the only things I really got to do left is a couple bugs that I want to get around to fixing, I think. So we will see how that works out. It's all a matter of time. Yeah, Coolcraft has been going well though. Yeah, over the break actually. I got the most viewed video now on my channel. Not the most viewed piece of content on my channel though. That is still a live stream I did a few years ago, which has over 3,000 views somehow. I don't know. It just keeps getting more and more and more views over time. It is ridiculous. I really do not know what's going on with that one live stream, but on the video front, I uploaded a video which is probably like capped out its views now a couple of weeks ago. I think it was episode 4 or 5, I want to say, of Coolcraft Season 7. Basically, the big shiny thing I did in the episode was I built a redstone contraption to automate the Ender Dragon fight, which is almost certainly why the video got so much traction. Okay, and there's 2 minutes now, so this is definitely a longer gap here. And yeah, that video has almost 1,000 views. It didn't hit 1,000 before, like, YouTube decided, okay, we're done promoting this shit. Are my headphones on the correct way? I actually do not know. Because I actually got a new pair of headphones. I thought they're on the right way. Okay, I got a new pair of headphones for Christmas as well. This pair of headphones. They're different. But I've decided I'm just going to use my old headphones for live streaming for now because I can, quite frankly. Or mostly because there's like generally content consumption. It's fine on the old headphone, on the new headphones, but I get this strange, weird bit of like interference where there's just like a brief bit of white noise that goes like into the audio stream for some reason. I don't know what's causing it or anything. It feels very strange, but yeah, I get a random bit of white noise interference that kind of is weird that I just don't want to have to deal with the live streaming for now. Where's my next train? Not there. Are they stuck somewhere? No, there it is. There's one. Mind you, they don't really have to compete very much for space on these lines. Really? It's all the way over there? Huh. T4. I don't remember which one we started with, though, but we'll continue measuring out times, and if they're close to 2 minutes apart, then we can stop and go. I don't think they are, though, but hopefully they'll be close to 2 minutes apart, and then we can go and get the next set of train. Well, I gotta get materials to actually build out all these trains first, because I don't know how many trains we're gonna need. I'm gonna time the very first loop of the train, see how long it takes, and then from there we see how long it takes it to unload how long it takes the most in-demand resource container to unload, and then from there we can say, okay, if it takes that much time to reload, we need at least this many trains to cope with the amount of supplies that this thing is going to be pulling in, because while everything on either end is theoretically perfectly matched or overmatched for their actual resource IO, we still need to be able to transport them to or from this place. And I'm definitely thinking that if this thing starts having issues, trains are going to be the culprit of the issues with the power plant, because they are not going to be entirely consistent in their ability to deliver resources. I mean, that's part of why I did include buffers out of all the resources here, so that, you know, the trains don't get serious interruptions, but it's still like it's still a potential issue that trains back up and then all of a sudden all the trains are bunched up together, which causes the plant here to never produce consistent power, which if that does end up happening, then I might start slowly abandoning the trains and just belting resources over here, because in the end that's my problem with using vehicles in this game, is that vehicles are inconsistent with their ability to deliver resources. My problem with that's my biggest problem in general with vehicles. Theoretically, you know, trains have that problem as they're like all bunching together on the track and weird physics things are happening. But for non-trains, I also have the problem is they consume fuel that I could be using to power my factory, and belts don't consume any fuel. These consume electricity, which is less of a bad thing, because, you know, the electricity is less tangible. And they don't also require a dedicated source of energy resource. The electricity is the grid. Alright, there's our train, finally. This has been a long gap. I feel like it would have definitely run dry within this gap. Yeah, but there should be enough trains on the track, so I don't know what's going on there. I know the round trip time is like 15 minutes, and we've been streaming for 20 minutes, so all the trains have generally come around once. Oh, hello. Interesting. Alright, here we come. Alright, actually, we don't technically need to be in this train. We just need to start measuring once this train leaves. But I suspect another train will be right on its tail at that point, due to network congestion and all. See a train coming right up there, yeah. So yeah, this stream is quite boring at first. We are doing train spacing. Okay, it's leaving. Starting the clock there. Oh no, that's a completely different train coming down the hill right there. That's the train that is only here to bring filters in, really. Other than that, its actual job is to bring copper back to the main factory. There's the train that yeah, that's way not 2 minutes apart. So we're gonna, realistically, what I should have done for this bunching system, I should have waited for that big gap we had there and started bunching after that, or unbunching them after that, but you know, unbunching as we go through is probably a smart idea. And that's how you get not hit by a train. So yeah, other than that, It's docking. I didn't know there was a cancel docking button. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, it's like a minute off of where it should be. Oh yeah, also actually something else I just thought of that I just feel like I should or want to talk about here. So like, as you may know, I do a bit of programming stuff, hence the game development and all that sort of stuff. And one of the languages that I can, I've done some development stuff in is like C and C++. But the thing I specifically hate about C and C++ is how just annoying it can be to actually build something and how finicky the whole build process is. Because it'll be like, oh, you're missing X library, and I'm like, where do I get that? And it's like, I don't know, and none of the open source repositories ever like have good information on where you can get all their dependencies and what they all are, or how to install the dependencies properly. So I just do not, so I'm just always so like, so I get very frustrated when I have to deal with like a whole bunch of dependencies and stuff. And then add on top of that, you got to worry about the compilers as well, because as I recently learned, two compilers may seem the same, but if they're not quite the same and your libraries don't agree with the compiler, then you can get screwed. Specifically, there's a million different flavors of compiler that Microsoft offers for Windows. And it mostly has to do with architectures. Some of them I don't even know what the heck the difference is, but there's a big enough difference where it prevents my stuff from compiling correctly. Here, I just want to wait for this thing to... Okay. That one was much closer to the previous train. Anyhow, so the issue that I had here was that when, there was the proper x86-64 compiler offered by Microsoft is a little bit confusing on which one to use, because there are two ones listed that seem to fit the bill. There's AMD64_x86 and x86_AMD64. What is the difference? I don't know, but apparently one of them works with compiling everything and everything's like, yeah, you're good, and the other one's like, no, everything sucks, man. This is a completely different architecture. What are you talking about? I have no idea. It actually hurts my brain trying to know what the difference was. But I was like, it was failing to build because like it couldn't link a bunch of things because architectures were incorrect. I'm like, what do you mean? My computer's not a it's not an x86 architecture. It's AMD 64, which is this 64-bit version of x86. It's confusing. x86 refers to the 32-bit version of the x86 architecture, and x64 or AMD 64 refers to the 64-bit implementation of the x86 architecture. Oh, dang it. Okay, well that's kind of annoying. And that's because AMD was the ones who actually created the original 64-bit implementation of the x86 architecture. It is kind of strange. This is gonna fuck with my timing, but this is gonna happen sometime, so I'll let it slide. But anyhow, what's mega confusing about it is that it's so like jumbled up and messed up. It's just like the two different versions is what's that I have no discernible difference between is what really screwed me up. It was like, what the heck is the difference between these two things? I still don't know what the difference is, by the way. Make sure that's not moving. Yeah, honestly, I still don't know what the difference is, but the project was actually a thing I have to do for school here. The professor was providing us with a project, a base project that we are going to be building off of throughout the semester. And I was thinking, oh, the libraries he had us install, that's the problem, right? I uninstalled, reinstalled, uninstalled again, reinstalled again, try installing to the C drive instead of my other drive, because this thing has like, I mean, the whole SDK that I had to install was like multiple gigabytes, and I was like, I'm running out of space on my C drive, I'll put this on a different drive. It wasn't that at all. It was the compiler, entirely the compiler. And for some reason, like, there was a difference with the compilers where within the code he provided, there was one section where a structure, an instance of structure, is initialized to null for some reason. And the incorrect compiler was complaining about that. It's just like, because, well, you can't assign a non-pointer to a pointer type. That doesn't make sense. And to me, that doesn't make sense either. But then on the correct compiler, it's like, oh, you want to assign this to null? I know exactly what you mean. I mean, it doesn't technically matter, as it's not an actually valid instance of said structure. Actually, I think it's technically like an integer. I think it was just... The data type, I think, was technically an integer. Or at least, that's what the compiler told me was defined as. Maybe this other compiler defines it as something different where null is an appropriate value. I don't know. I still don't know what the difference is. But yeah. Fun stuff, fun stuff. This one won't be too far. Yeah, it's far enough off. I think train number 3 is where we were, or what we were at, or where we started. Yeah, because we got 3 here, and then I don't see 4. Whoa. That is a major difference. This thing's 3 and 4 are very far apart. I don't know what happened to them. Honestly, that is an immense amount of space. Maybe it was 2.5 minutes for a gap. Whatever. I'll leave this space. Hopefully this amount of space is working. I know there are also more trains on this line than is strictly necessary. It was like a little bit over 6 trains that I think I calculated would be necessary, and I'm like, 7 trains will be good. So hopefully that amount of time in between the trains isn't too bad, with extra trains on the network hopefully padding the stockpiles that are here before any of the machines actually get items. That's another reason why I need to like increase the belt speed to the at least to the buffers here, is because if the actual like area of a train, there's more frequent trains here and then there's a gap, we want to be able to make sure those buffers are full of stuff when the gap comes, to hopefully weather that gap as best it can without being reinforced by a train. That's the that's the goal, at least. Also, throughout playing this game, I continuously get shocked by how gigantic these train stations are compared to like the scale of the game. Because these things are massive. They're like 5-6 tiles wide, which is an immense amount. And oh, I could probably unmute and see if Jaredy Cool is there, because I am in a call with him. Let's see if he is there. Hello, is there anyone there? No. Okay, fun. He's probably watching football. So, that tracks. Because, yeah, I guess it is a Sunday night. The Super Bowl is coming up. I won't be streaming during the Super Bowl, by the way. I just realized that is on a Sunday, so I'm not streaming during the Super Bowl. That does sound like a dumb idea anyway, because who's going to be watching my stupid stream, you know? To be fair, people who don't like to watch football, like me, but whatever, it's the Super Bowl. I'll be like hanging out in like the public area where they show the Super Bowl on campus anyway, because free food. Well, free food, you know, your freaking student fees or whatever pay for it, but you know, free to me. I didn't have to pay any extra money directly out of my pocket for this food, so I like it. Alright, here is our train number 3. Hopefully, we are shrinking the gap between trains 3 and 4 substantially with this bunching here. We'll say. In fact, that's only 40 seconds into the cycle and the train's already docked. I think that's the shortest one we've had yet. Kind of tracks with how bunching goes. Which is good. Good, good, good. Alright, where is... So there's our other train. There. Where is train 4? Train 4 is all the way over there. I'll time how long it does actually take from this guy leaving to train 4 getting here. Hopefully it's not that long, because we still have like 3/4 of a minute before this train goes, so we're allowing the other trains to gain a bit of stuff. Actually, also, something weird that I noticed when I went to go restart the server for today's stream is that the server was actually offline. It crashed at some point like a week ago, and I never noticed, because it has been a hot second since I've been on Satisfactory. Honestly, kind of dreading having to work with trains here. Very understandable. Let's see. Okay, 10 seconds. Beep. Alright. Now, train 4 is a bit of a ways away. I am currently stopwatching, though, to see how long it will be until train 4 arrives at the station here. Where is it, though? Oh, that's gonna take forever. Yeah, that's just loading there. That's bad. To be fair, that is the largest area on the line. The reason why I'm kind of afraid to do unbunching later is because once we have more trains, unbunching one set of trains is going to affect a completely different set of trains. Actually, that being said, though, unbunching the trains at this station would actually be a good idea, because this station has a long run-up that is only for the trains coming this direction. So, actually, for future unbunching of this specific train line, that's where we have to do it. I don't think any other train line has an area that is so perfect for unbunching as that. Let me see, because this is the this is the Sam Copper Bauxite train. The next one has just iron and sulfur, which there's no space off the main line for that train at all, basically, apart from the stations. And then the train after that has exactly one station, actually. So that one should hopefully be the one that requires the least amount of... Well, okay. Uranium actually has 2 stations. And I'm probably going to have 2 uranium trains, but that shouldn't be a big deal. The radiation they spread is going to be a bigger deal. But that's why we're going to have the iodine-infused filters. Which I actually have a bunch of on me right now. I gotta, like, I gotta just, like, stuff my inventory with a bunch of resources to build more trains and dump everything else off somewhere. Because, I mean, I can get most of this stuff back in the future. But, where is that train? Nope, that's not it. Yeah. That is a... The train is kind of far away. I'm sick of unbunching after this, though. I'm going to start putting in more trains. It's starting with the iron train, which I forget how many of those trains I need. What is the tiers of belts that we got out of this thing? I mean, I think it's just tier 4, right? Yeah, tier 4, but will be tier 5. But I'm gonna have to upgrade all of these to tier 5 belts eventually to make sure we can keep up with the outputs. But for now, we only have to worry about them actually extracting at a tier 4 rate, because that's what we're actually here to supply. Alright, where is 1-7? I think it's right there. Yeah, there it is. It's way over that way. Great. More time to just sit back. It's been 3 minutes here. Let me get the... Oh, I just completely closed the stream on my phone. Huh. Oh, that's... I half closed it on my phone? I don't know. Anyhow. Here, actually, you know what? In this downtime here, you know, why don't you remember to give the stream a like while you're here? Oh yeah, also actually, very big event that happened over the break time. I hit 69 subscribers! How amazing! All off of that one video, but nice. So yeah. Thanks for 69 subscribers, guys. That's pretty cool stuff. How long this train would get here? Again, 15-minute round trip on this track. Yeah, trains aren't the fastest thing in the world. Belts are more reliable. But yeah. Because I could talk a little bit more right now about how... So yeah, like, I mean, obviously, during the break, I did plan to stream. In fact, I got, you know, stuff to enhance my green screening experience at home. I got new lights because, well, half of my old lights, which was 2, broke at some point. And I don't know why. They just, like, don't work anymore. You plug them in and the lights just go a little bit flashy and then they never actually turn on. So I got some new ones, which were, you know, they're bigger and twice the maximum wattage, supposedly, which is interesting. It's a new design and stuff, and I have 4 of them. So what I've planned to do is I put, like, one of them in front of me, illuminating me with light, which is annoyingly warm light instead of, like, the cool, or warm color temperature instead of the cool color temperature that I'm being lit with now. But the rest of them I put behind the green screen and bathe the green screen in green. Now I do have to worry about the hotspot of the actual LEDs themselves on the screen, which I still need to figure out a way to deal with. But okay, let's see, how long is it gonna take? I'll stop the stopwatch right once we get the docks, and then I'm heading back to the factory. Five minutes, 55 seconds between when the previous train left and this train got here. Yeah, hopefully they space themselves out a little bit better than that. But we can worry about spacing them out again once I get the other trains running down the line. Alright. Yeah. And one of the reasons why I didn't want to play... I mean, obviously, with that bad CPU I had, one of the reasons why I didn't want to play, like, Satisfactory... Well, I mean, Satisfactory was an okay game to play, but I was afraid of my computer crashing while I was in a Hyper 2. And what happens when that happens is when you join the world again, you just stand on the actual pipes. But I also didn't want to play any games that locally saved to my computer, because save getting corrupted would be very, very likely when stuff was happening. So actually, playing on Satisfactory with the dedicated server would have actually been advantageous. But of course, Minecraft was probably the better thing to play, because, you know, obviously having all of that on a server. I mean, first of all, having all the Minecraft stuff on a server, all your Minecraft stuff on a server, on a dedicated server, is nice. From the fact that you don't need to worry about having the world locally to do anything with it. It's all you can always access it from basically anywhere, and you can also have your friends access it from anywhere, right? But yeah, you don't have to worry about whatever's happening on your device. Any crashes happen on your device, they're not affecting the server, so the data's fine. Here, let's see. Let's want to have, I guess, 10 trains worth of stuff, so that's going to be a ridiculous amount of materials, but this is going to be 20 locomotives, and what's like 7 cars, 70 cars. I'm just going to dump basically my entire inventory right now into the awesome sink, so I can collect all, so I can get, or hopefully try filling my inventory with all this stuff. So this is the full list, so we don't need the reinforced iron plates. I know there's a lot of belt materials that I will eventually need to pick back up. Heavy modular frames, gotta go, I guess. Surprisingly, plastic is not a required resource. Huh. Concrete. Okay, let's see if that's enough inventory space. I don't think it's gonna be, but you know, we'll try. I don't even know if I have 1,000 pipes stored up. That might be a bit of a bottleneck. Let's see. Okay. That is that. Then we get the 200. Oh, that'll be easy. That's like 4 stacks of motors. And those are on the 3rd floor. Oop. Loading everything. I'm not seeing. I don't know if I'm seeing a particular performance uplift from my CPU upgrade. You know, it's generational. Actually, while I'm on this floor, might as well get that 400 rubber. You know, I don't know how CPU bound I ever really was in games, to be fair. I don't know if I'm CPU bound, GPU bound, or more likely bandwidth bound when it's come to basically everything. Because the amount of, well, yeah, bandwidth from transfer bandwidth from like the not necessarily SSD or hard drive to, you know, RAM or whatever, but RAM to CPU transfer speed limited. That's what I think I'm primarily limited by when it comes to playing video games, which is, you know, an interesting thing to be limited by. Okay, do I have enough? Oh, I do have enough pipes. Alright, now I need all that wire. I think that will be good then. Yeah. Oh, right. That's not the right wire. This is the wire that I want to... Alright, that's that. I have everything I need for all these trains. So, yeah. 20 electric locomotives, 70 freight cars. That's not how I get back to the nuclear power plant. That's over here. Whoop, whoop. Man, it's quiet. Woo. Yeah, something else that was driving me crazy like yesterday was some Ethernet cables that I have just not working anymore. Because I was like plugging my laptop in with Ethernet because, you know, you get lower pings and all that sort of stuff. And the cable that I've been using to connect my desktop to the internet at home for a long time now just like was not working anymore. And I partially blame the fact that the cable has no more Ethernet clips on them because they just came off. It was like, oh, this stuff, it's so annoying. So annoying. Yeah, there's not really a good solution to it. I mean, oh, okay. Some cables protect the clips, which is, you know, actually good. But the ones I have clearly didn't. Alright, so this here is going to be the iron train. So it's going to have iron and sulfur. That's 2 stations, and we'll of course time these trips. It's going to like the. Can I align this thing with the station? Okay. Well, we're going to have that. 7 cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And a second locomotive to be able to power this thing up the inclines that it needs to go up when it's full. Yeah, the trains alone are going to use a significant quantity of power, so we're going to name this... Wait, what are these other trains named? Not that one. NP Train Line 2 T1. NP Train Line 2 T1. It's probably not the correct formatting, but I don't really care right now. So, we're going to start with... Wait, what nuclear power plant 3. Then we gotta go nuclear iron pickup, nuclear sulfur pickup, safe. Alright. Wait. Is that all 3 stations? It does. Okay. So, I'm gonna go back to the stopwatch. So, go. Okay, it starts with docking. So right when it docks at the station on its way back, that's when we stop the stopwatch. Or we lap the stopwatch, should I say. Alright, here we go. Interesting stuff happening. Ah, and I'm delaying another train. Boo! Anyhow. Oh, and I'm right behind another train. Look at that. We get to experience the train lines at their busiest, I guess. There are trains everywhere we gotta deal with. But that's what our signals are for. Well, this line is getting delayed a bit, is it? Okay. Not really. But cascading trains is something that's probably gonna happen at some point. And hopefully we don't have a situation where all the trains back up at, like, because the one intersection gets jammed or some shit like that. To be fair, that did kind of happen to me once when that intersection back there got temporarily blocked and then all the trains backed up because the train stuck on the hill couldn't climb the hill. We're not going to have that problem though, because now all trains that have lots of cars that need to climb hills have 2 locomotive standards, so they can actually climb the hills. Yeah, thankfully the other train line that we were spacing trains out there, that is the longest train line of all the train lines that we have to deal with here. So we don't really need to worry about having nearly that many trains, or taking nearly that long. But it has basically taken 2 minutes to get here. Yeah, just you know, food for thought or whatever. Oh, look, here's another train on its way back. Right, this station here is technically going to struggle a little bit with this having an extra engine on the end, because this station, and technically the other one this thing's about to stop at, wasn't built to have an extra engine on the back, because I didn't expect that to be necessary. But we know it is necessary, so we do have to do it. And I'll probably have to come around here and actually modify these stations so we don't back up onto or don't cause issues on the main line when there's a train docked at the station. So, you know, have an extra, or have the signal, station entrance signal a little bit further back into the block break, roller coasters around the line. A little further back into the block for the curve. So, like, right where the switch combines there would actually be a good place for this signal here to be. Because I don't know if, theoretically I don't think it'd be a problem for trains coming going down the main line right now. Because I don't think they'd be intersecting with this guy's path despite the fact that it's sitting inside of that block. 3.5 minutes right now. And then the train, thing is on a dedicated server, the trains are never in quite the right position for the actual animation to look fluid between the train station and the trains themselves. Thankfully nothing was coming down the line when we were doing this. Theoretically, yeah, hopefully the path signals are actually smart enough to never cause problems for us, but you never know what's going to happen. We're... anything could happen. Anything could happen. Definitely in the heaviest traffic section of track. It's definitely going to be right in between the copper or the nuclear, the factory, the main factory's nuclear pasta ore pickup, and the station, or in the nuclear power plants, or in the nuclear power plant turnoff. That section of track is going to be by far the busiest. It's like every train's running through there at some point. And this one, same story. The engine, that last engine is going to be hanging out into that intersection a little bit for just loading the sulfur. Alright, and then here it goes. At first I thought I was going to have 8 cars on these trains, but I somehow miscounted and only got 7 cars. It worked out in the end because we managed to pack 3 out of the 4 trains that we were bringing resources in on, and the 4th one didn't really matter, so... Because that one was basically just uranium, which is fine. A short train that's just an engine and 2 cars of uranium. We're going to paint them bright green so that, you know, you see it and you're like, ah, that's a radioactive train. I'm going to be irradiated when that goes by. Alright. Realistically, I should paint each train differently so that you can tell them apart on the track. I guess you just have to, like, look at the compass to figure that out. Should probably remove one of the signals there to allow faster speeds approaching this intersection. But yeah, I also had to put block sections up that ramp there because for some reason we the block sections up of that like cross map track only went like partway down and then they just stopped at some point. That was weird. There's another train there. Okay, it has now been almost 7 minutes. Once it stops at the station, we're going to lap it and see how long it takes it to unload. Flying in here at over 150 kilometers per hour. I don't know what that is in real speed units, but you know. It seems fast because there are 3 separate digits there. Is that fast, chat? I'm lapping that at 7 minutes 50 seconds. Weird. I don't know why these are desynced, by the way. It's kind of confusing. This is nicely synchronized in a line, though. Alright. Then we watch how quickly this all drains, and we see. So, that was 7 minutes 50 seconds to get the train back here, so that's already going to be interesting. So I'm going to take out the old calculator, and that's 470 seconds. We'll use seconds as their unit of work here, I guess. And apparently I'm including unload the time it takes the unload to happen and the amount of time this takes to drain. It'd be nice if this actually doesn't fully unload by the time the train gets back. But let's be real. That's not how... I mean, to be fair, it has already been 1 minute. And we're not even... Oh, and that includes unloading, so it's a little bit difficult for me to tell right now. But hey, we're making progress here. The other one... The next train is only... Or the next thing we have to do only has one platform where everything is loaded, which is great. We love to see it. Love to see it. That's right. This only does need one train. That is amazing. Oh yeah, this will also actually give us the amount of time that is necessary to unload with a Tier 4 belt. Which will be very handy. Or, by the way, we're over a quarter of the train's trip right now. I seem to have a thing on my leg. A little bit of a itch mark, scratch mark, something like that. I don't know what to call it. We're 1/4 unloaded and over 1/4 of the trip away, so this might be close. Might be close. Uh-huh. Just waiting. We are just waiting. Beep to you too. Been unloading for 3 minutes now. Just gonna make sure, yeah, that's a Tier 4 belt. Looks like it's running at capacity. No stuttering of the belts here. Alright. Just checking. Alright. This is reaching about halfway unloaded here. And interestingly, I think 2 trains is going to be a good amount of trains, by the way. Interestingly, we've also just about reached halfway through the train cycle here. I think 2 trains is going to be... Yeah, let me get the frame here. 2 trains, I think I'm going to add a second train here, just to be safe. Just to be safe and make sure everything keeps running effectively, I think I'm adding 2 trains to this. But if that is indeed the case, that we don't actually need 1 train comes very close to cutting this, that'll be fantastic. That means this line is very not susceptible to being train delays, actually, especially when we have 2 trains. Like 2 trains with the increased unload speed for the buffering. We're not going to have to worry about these trains potentially being a little bit late. As long as both trains are consistently making it around with some distance in between, there should be enough outgoing buffer from these stations that it will work properly. Of course, I got to upgrade a lot of belts to Tier 5. I got to upgrade a lot of belts to begin with here. I've realized that. These are all Tier 4. Wait, so it's a Tier 4, Tier 4, Tier 4, Tier 4, Tier 4, Tier 4. Yeah, okay. I know there's somewhere on down the... I mean, I have unlocked Tier 6 belts. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I guess we've unlocked, I believe, all the milestones of... oh, I can't actually show you right now. There's no way for me to show you that. But we have unlocked every single milestone from the Phase 5 of the space elevator. It was actually necessary to build the factory, believe it or not. So we've unlocked Tier 6 belts. But considering I don't have a factory to produce those resources right now, they are very expensive. And therefore I cannot upgrade this factory with any of them because I don't have stockpiled resources for what is necessary. Because it's like, what, time crystals and diamonds, I believe, is what's necessary to build a Tier 6 belts here. We are over 75% of the train's over 75% of its way back. The resources are over 75% of the way out here. Let's Tearsic bow. No, Fixonium trigons and time crystals. That's what it is. Time crystals are made of diamonds. I have a pencil, by the way. I just picked this up at some point. If you didn't catch my drift. This is actually going to be close. How long it takes that train to get back here. Again, to insulate this from delays, we're putting a second train on this track. I think I've already decided that, but only 2 trains is actually an amazing way to do stuff. And I'll get the math for exactly how many trains we would technically need to deal with this much iron here in a moment. Okay. That was a weird sound. Alright, final stack is going out here. And I'll just straight up pause this timer once it happened, and stop. That is 7 minutes and 8 seconds! Oh. So, that means that there is 1.09 trains necessary to fully satisfy this. So actually, we should, in a few seconds here, actually, see that, is it that one? Yeah, that train's the one that is on its way back here. So, yeah, let me get the actual number of seconds that took. 428 versus 470 seconds. There's only a few seconds of downtime between these trains, but cool. So once this train leaves, I'll build the second one, and then about halfway through its journey, so like 3-ish minutes, I will send the next train. Oh yeah, it's got to unload everything. Everything's at a different place. Lovely. Animations, guys. This is NP Train Line 2, Train 2 is what we're gonna name that. Wow, those ones have already backed up. That is surprising. Alright. Goodbye, and hello. Seven, and a locomotive. Alright. Oh, I forgot to start my timer. It doesn't too much matter how long it takes. So, NP Train Line 2, Train 2. Alright, so we do Power Plant Platform 3, NP Iron and Sulfur save. And then we wait for 3 minutes to roll around before we turn this thing on. Most of those lines are shoveling iron and a little bit of sulfur into this factory. Copper is already done. Yeah, copper's already been shoveled in. Actually, something embarrassing is when I was going to put that previous train in, I accidentally forgot which train is supposed to do what, and I initially ran that first train line with a train of iron and sulfur. Yeah, I flooded all of my chests and stuff there with iron and sulfur. That was not good. I had to go through all the copper smelters and remove all the sulfur from them. Or yeah, all the not sulfur, but all the iron from the copper smelters. That was fun. I hope everything else is correct though. The SAM should be correct. The bauxite is hopefully also correct. I should check on that stuff. But hopefully it's all correct. With no issues of any sort cropping up. just here. Wait, I know it's flashing it's flashing at me about braking, but yeah, I'm just waiting for a decent amount of space between the trains before I launch this guy off to screw up the network more. Yeah. But yeah, this is a very big power plant project. In the future, I will just do a ton of rocket fuel for power. That is the best fuel in this game, actually. And with alternate recipes that I haven't been bothered to dive into or properly implement into my spreadsheet program yet, we will be able to get a ridiculous amount of power out of all that stuff. Yeah, I'm never considering nuclear power is never actually necessary to do any of the things in this game to actually complete the game. I'm probably never touching nuclear power again because this is a very big hassle. It takes a ton of resources. But I will find out what the actual mass of. Okay, it's about to hit 3 minutes here, so we'll say okay, you can go. Actually, as this thing's going, I'm gonna quickly head to the bathroom. So, please hold for a quick bathroom break. Dang, just from the sound of it, it sounds like this guy's been stopping a whole lot on this trip, but that's not too much to be expected about. So, anyhow, we don't need to ride this thing anymore. It's going in the opposite direction. We actually need to go back to the... oh, it's so much quieter now. Oh yeah, we need... Oh, I do not need this stopwatch to be still going. But yeah, we need to go back there, and I actually need to see what is the fastest belt that is taking out the limestone, coal, quartz, and caterium. Because I shoved all those things onto a single train, and I actually got a single train station, I believe, to load them all. That is that I think is slightly impressive. All right. Look, two trains right up hot on each other's heels. Let's see, that is... Oh, that's a tiny train. Yeah, make the big trains. Surprised it didn't do anything to me when I, when it ran me over there. Huh. I know there's an achievement for getting hit by a vehicle. Look at those path signals working. Amazing. I wonder how path signals work. It must be quite complex. Oh yeah, as you can see here, I had to extend this platform out to allow extra station area for the final train car. Anyhow, Alright, all that stuff's buffered. What is going on? Okay, no, I'm confused. Why is that one pulsing? Let's go under the factory here to the logistics zone. So you two are both pulsing. Going through this balance. I know there's that load balancer here. Oh, because, right. Half of you goes down to this much slower tier 3 iron belt. Which goes over this, which goes way over to the end of the, yeah, okay, that makes sense, actually. Because, yeah, I load balance that so that one that will go, but they will both feed the tier 5 and tier 3 side of things, and they haven't filled up this buffer just yet. That's not a big deal, though. Yeah, I had barely filled it up, but that will have a lot of time to fill up by the time I'm done with all this crap. So I will say, despite the fact that the actual speed difference between tier 4 and tier 5 isn't double, the amount, the rate at which they drain containers and such is actually pretty big difference. Because with tier 5, I would have needed way more than, or I would probably have significantly needed 2, if not more, trains for this section here. Okay. We got an abomination here is what we got, but what do we actually got in terms of belts? So we got 5, 5, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3. Okay, well at least it's this one here, which is a tier 5. For what? I do not remember, actually. It's been a while since I've, you can see the uranium here. It's just, one car? Didn't I try loading 2 cars for the uranium? I actually don't remember. If I only loaded 1 car, oh well. This only needs a tier 4 belt anyway, because it's like... Anyhow. 4, 3, there's 1 5, there's another 5. These things are all 4s and the like, okay. Oh, this is limestone. Okay, well, we do have to deal with tier 5 speeds. Alright, that is a dig against this one, though. While this shouldn't take... This is theoretically the closest line, only going to a single station. So while it shouldn't be that bad, it does have tier 5 belts. So that will mean that it will overall demand more train. More frequent train service. But again, single station, the round trip shouldn't be that long. Alright, let's create this train line then. So NP train line 3, train 1. This is nuclear power plant 4. And then what is this station? NP resource 2. That should be all it needs, I believe. Alright, and go. It's going to have to dock first. That's going to be included within its time. And then, actually I can show on the map here. So for uranium we have stations... Where are they? I actually don't know where on this map they are. Oh, right. Uranium's like, we have station there, and station there. Oh. Okay. Right through Power City there, which is quite cool. I kind of like how the train snakes through all those power storage devices. Yeah, this line also doesn't have a good location for unmunching, so hopefully that won't be necessary. Hello? Okay, are we back? Are we back? I did just notice that the stream dropped there for a moment. Looks like we're back. Okay. Good. Weird. I had no idea what happened there. I just noticed the stream was at 0 kilobytes per second on OBS, so... I'd never disconnected from the Satisfactory server here, though. Alright. here is this station. I don't remember where the actual, it doesn't really matter where the edge of this station is. But yeah, this is the entire train getting loaded there. I think it's like around the curve. Oh, come on. Around the yeah, right back there. That's where that signal is. I don't need to modify signals here. I do need to modify this other signals though. So actually, after we get this line good, I will modify all those signals. Anyhow. Okay. Oh yeah, it should be about 2 minutes per train. So it's been 2 minutes since we've left. Because yeah, tier 5, about 2 minutes per train. 2 minutes-ish. I'll figure out what the exact numbers are with math. Or meth, if you prefer to remove the A. That is a joke, by the way. In case that was not obvious, that is joke. You see, is joke, okay? Is joke. This is also a pretty heavily trafficked piece of track here. There's that tiny station for that picks up some copper down there. That adds a significant amount of time to that other line. That line, in fact. Everything is full right now just because the factory's not on. Everything's buffering, which is good, to be clear. I want everything buffered before we turn the factory on. That way there'll be no surprises. Actually, I don't know if, I don't know how many things that actually take a tier 5 belt are actually going to expect the resource at the speed of the tier 5 belt, or just need slightly above a tier 4 belt, so we have to use tier 5 for input. I hope it's not much, because that would be really annoying to have to get a bunch of tier 6 belt material. Not that I can't do it, I just don't want to do it. You see? It takes a lot of effort to get a bunch of tier 6 belt materials and upgrade all the belts to tier 6. So I'll need to go through and actually check which belts are going to be there. Alright. This felt significantly faster. It was only a couple minutes faster than that train there. And once this guy begins docking, I will press the lap button, because the final little approach here is incredibly freaking slow. Oh, I accidentally did 3 laps at once. Okay. Well, 4:28. That is the time to beat, and I don't know why. Well, that one will get. That one will hit. That one will do. Okay, just gonna glitch my way through there. Yeah, that's down to a tier 5 belt there. Now, as this thing unloads, I will get to calculating here. So, that was 268 seconds there. And now we just gotta wait for this to unload and see how long that takes to see how many trains we will theoretically need. Also, yeah, I apparently forgot to set that one station to unload here. While that's unloading, it's still going to be a hot second. Is this thing set to unload? It is, okay. There's just that one of these that was set to load. That one stinking... Was it 2? No, I have 2 belts coming out of there. What? Tier 4 and a tier 3. Okay, that's not... Is that tier 5? Oh. I'll have to check that one, because... when that one gets back, I'm going to have to check how long that takes, because... that might be more than tier 5 speeds. I don't know. I think that's coal as well. Actually, here. That's 480 plus 270. 750, which... okay, no, that's below a tier 5 belt. We're good. No need to panic. Okay, it's been about 2 minutes on the current unload time, and reminder that it was basically 4.5 minutes on the round trip here, and we're approaching halfway unloaded here. Is this going to be another real similar one where 2 trains is all I'm going to need? Spaced about 2 minutes apart. To be fair, I also don't know how tier 5 how close to the tier 5 rate this actually needs to be for unloading here. Is it expecting the actual tier 5 amount of limestone, or is it less? Because if it's less, we can work with it. But if not, we need to upgrade these belts to tier 6. That's a lot of time crystals and trigon fixite stuff. Just fixite itself is a pain in the ass. Because I gotta convert it to like convert something into fixite and then process that. It's not too bad after that. But then there's also the thing I just gotta send coal into a particle accelerator. Alright, this is going to be another close one, actually. I do think this is going to fully unload before the train gets back. But it's going to be close. 2 trains will be all this thing is going to need. It's going to be very interesting to see the power spike on the grid when I actually end up turning the whole power plant on. Alright. What is going to happen first? If the train gets back, I still want to add a second one because redundancy and that sort of stuff. Make sure the thing runs overall better, but... Ooh, it's going to cut it close. We are at 4 minutes on the unload here. Out of the 4.5 minutes that it takes the train to get back. Here come the last 2 is that the train that we're looking for right there? I hear coming in. No, it's not. Okay. We're gonna unload quick. We're gonna unload faster then. Well, it's actually taking 4.5 minutes to unload apparently. So look at that. It would be. I think here's the train, right? Yeah. It would. I'm just gonna put the second train on there like 2 minutes in. This would have been good. I think this train got delayed a little bit, but technically this would have been good. Because yeah, some of those 2 tier 5s here at the bottom did run out. And we're the only tier 5s. So tier 5 there, tier 5 there. 4, 3, 4, 4, 3. Yeah, okay. Is running dry right now because of unloading. Oh, the animations are partially broken, I feel. Why does that look like it's not outputting at tier 3 belt speeds? Strange. Doesn't feel like that's the speed of a tier 3 belt, but I guess it is. Since what else would it be? Anyhow, I gotta get the next train down. Okay, so surprisingly these things needed less trains than I was anticipating. I prepared for 10 trains and they only needed 4. Well, we're gonna have a 5th one for the uranium. Actually, we'll see how... Actually, we'll probably need 2 for the uranium, so we'll say 6 in total. But I'm not going to put that one in yet, as I want to get a little bit of stuff done before we actually get your radiation in here. Da-da-da-dun. So, NP train line 3, train 2. Nuclear power plant 4, NP resource 2. And we'll turn on your schedule once we get 2 minutes into my timer here. And then we can figure out exactly how tier 5 those tier 5 belts of limestone there need to be. Like I should also figure out how tier 5 those tier 5 belts in the first train need to be. And if the belts actually need to be full tier 5, I will color them with the color gun to be a different color. Actually, Fixmas is over, but do I still have access to the Fixmas color swatch? Also, are things I painted with that swatch still Fixmas themed? I would be very disappointed if that's not the case. I suspect I can't do any of the crafting stuff. Dang it, I never actually went through the rest of the admin calendar after I got distracted from this game. It's always next year, I guess. Always next year. Okay, here we're going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And go. Oh, right, it has some doctors. Okay, so if I go... Hey, the Vixma skin is still here. I mean, it only applies to like belts and pipes and stuff, so yay! Middle of summer, but candy cane pipes are still available. So here. Right here is where we've applied them. Or where I have applied it. Unfortunately, I never actually put down any of the, any Vixmas trees or anything that could generate me gifts. So I'd be entirely reliant on the supply of gifts I'd have. Man, yeah, I should have played more in Vixmas, but I didn't. Oh well. Anyhow. Just how tier 5 is it, do these, does this need to be? Okay, so we have, there's 45 limestone per minute, so we're gonna 45 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 45 times 16, that is 720. Which is needing a tier 5 belt, but below the limit. So we will paint those belts with cautious optimism. We'll say... We'll paint them pink. Well, we don't actually count that thing, so we'll paint... Oop. Yeah, we'll paint these belts, which are tier 5, but may need to be upgraded if I decide stuff is insufficient in the future. Paint it all pink, so that it's easy to identify what needs to be upgraded in the future, because we're going to go top-down upgrading everything else. There's going to be a bunch of tier 4 belts that are going to become tier 5, which is not necessarily good. Alright. That just ran out. Right, because the train hasn't come back yet, that's why. Oh no, because the train just came back, that's why. That's why we're going to be upgrading all these belts. Oh, why is my timer running? Yeah, we'll get rid of the timer for now. It's not necessary until we get to uranium train, which I don't want to do yet, because I don't want to be irradiated. This here, all these were tier 4, which is nice, but here we had some tier 5 belts, which was mostly the SAM, I believe. Was anything else tier 5? 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5 for the SAM, and 3. Okay. So it was absolutely just the SAM that required tier 5. Now, how tier 5 was the SAM? Was it just needing to be a bit more than a tier 4? If so, then that's fine. So, one of these requires 120. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 6. That's also 720. Okay, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You are downclocked to 20. 720 plus 26.66. That is 746. It's still under, so we will go down underneath and mark these things as pink as well to imply that they are tier 5, yes, but they do not hopefully need to be upgraded, as there is extra tier 5 bandwidth available. To be fair, there's other belts that are kind of that way too, where there's extra bandwidth available, but I'm still probably going to end up upgrading them because it's a little bit easier to go through and do that. Okay, so Sam, go pink. To be fair, some of that iron, the one iron that gets into a tier 5 belt down here, that also might be fine. Here's our load balancer between the two sets of Sam, in case it, for some reason, was necessary to do that. I think, I don't know. We go there, and then we just gotta go outside and paint the Sam belts pink. Because they are tier 5 that are not to be upgraded this time, but may need to be upgraded later. Okay, cool. That train just logicked in my face. Let me make sure I didn't pink paint tier 5 belts over here. This I forgot. Alright, that should be all the tier 5 belts that need to be pink painted. Alright. Right then, so, okay. Now I can... Here, I will build... I mean, this only needs to be an engine and a car. I'll build like 2 trains here. A double train here. I'll build a double train here that I'll split later. So I can drop all of these resources and just pick up purely cladded aluminum for all these tier 4 belts that are going to be upgraded to tier 5 while I'm up. Because that's what we're doing next. We're doing belt upgrades, people. Upgrades, people, upgrades. Haha, I am doing the meme. Alright, back to the fact. The main, the primary, the factory. Oh, there's a train. Trains are, of course, to be expected while we're traveling next to train tracks. Would be kind of weird. Hey, there's another train. And soon there's going to be radioactive trains. Actually, something I want to be able to do, I want to be able to just time-lapse the power grid while we're turning the nuclear plant on. Watching the consumption go up and then the production spike once reactors start coming online. Although, to be fair, I do hope that I don't have to... The reactors don't keep cycling because they get their next resource just in time. If that does happen, we'll have to go turn off a bunch of reactors until they get a bit of fuel stockpiled. Then I can go turn them all on. That's going to be a little annoying because radiation, obviously. Thankfully, up at the top of the reactors, I don't think it's going to be too bad for radiation. Because the reactors themselves don't actually give off radiation. It's just the products on belts next to the reactors that give off radiation. Especially with the low-grade stuff, so just uranium. That doesn't give off all that much irradiation either. Alright. Here. Toss that out. And then the rest of this stuff can just be... Here. That's not it. Yeah, you. Absolutely junked. All I care about right now is a cladded aluminum in my inventory. There we go. Because that's what we need for tier 5 belts. Actually, how much do we have in awesome tickets now that I think about it? It's been like a month now, mind you, that it hasn't entirely been a continuous server run, as I said earlier. The server just crashed at some point and I never noticed. 2,228 tickets. Nice. Alright, to the floor that has a ton of cladded aluminum on it. That would be this floor. No. the next floor. That's where I was one floor off. Alright, we'll let that thing stock back up on aluminum. Which it will eventually do. And we will go back to the power plant. Again, this power plant doesn't technically exist because we're hurting for power at the moment, but because we definitely will be as we get into this next phase of machinery. Heck, the equipment involved in this power plant technically uses more power than we are currently able to produce, combined with the rest of the grid. I don't actually know what the peak consumption of this thing is. It actually might be at this point more than the actual current power grid, so... Hey, look, a train. Choo-choo. Bye-bye, choo-choo. I'm so much faster than you. Actually, now that we have a bunch of AI trains, it is actually a little bit dangerous to drive down these tracks yourself. Because if you're fast approaching one of these intersections and another train is able to reserve a path through it before you get to the intersection, yeah, you're kind of screwed. You're crashing. Unless you can just barely squeak by before the train hits you. But, yeah, you can't instantly stop. Theoretically... Oh, 2 hours. I've been on the game for 2 hours now. Woo! Theoretically, the AI trains can instantly stop, but you cannot. Alright. These belts. Time to get upgrading. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to quickly get some water, because my throat is a little bit dry. Oh, much better. Fresh, put in the refrigerator hours ago water. Still technically fresh water though. Do have to make sure I'm upgrading the Mark IV conveyor, because that'd be a Mark III conveyor there that I'm upgrading. So that I would be upgrading, which is not what I'm trying to do right now. Right now I'm purely trying to get Tier 4 belts upgraded to have a buffer to them, or an additional buffer to them that will hopefully mean that you don't have to worry about the unloading of trains causing resource shortages inside. Because I realized that was a likely thing to happen after I was doing stuff. After I started putting in trains, actually. Oh. I did not leave space in my inventory for this stuff at all. Oh, that's going to be so awkward. Here, perhaps let me put one stack of cladded aluminum down here for now. Where the hell did that... Oh, there's... Okay. Alright, there we go. And we're only going up to the storage containers with this, to be clear. After the storage container, the belts are fine. It's just to the storage buffer that we, the item storage buffer. To that point is all that we need to worry about in terms of item flow. Because once we're at the buffer, that's the point where the output should be 100% consistent. Thanks to the, buffer acting kind of as a capacitor to, upgrade the capacity a little bit. what the? Come on. Really? Oh yeah, stacks of 200 compared to stacks of 100. Oh. I guess I'll have to come back later for those crates then. I didn't think... admittedly, I did not think that through. I'm sure those... Yeah, dismantle crates, they're on the HUD. They'll be visible later. Okay. Just making sure everything's alright around here. Okay, next I think is going to have to be all this iron beltage. I think each one of the... Actually, every one of these belts is tier 4. That I happen to know. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, so... There's all 7 of those belts upgraded there. You know, upgrading to tier 5 ain't that big a deal. Look at all those dismantle crates. We love dismantle crates. Hopefully you won't have to go back to get resources for actually upgrading all the tier 4 belts, or tier 3 belts to tier 4. Because I didn't think any of this through. Oh. Right, that branch is done. Oh, okay. The slightly janky connection to the server that I'm feeling right now. That's always fun. Gotta love those janky server connections. And there's nothing I can do about it. And that's the iron done. Now we can go back. Oh, that. Well, at least that's the iron ingot. Explicitly iron ingot stuff done. Steel and whatnot, I think, still lies ahead down these lines here, which technically. I mean, I think they effectively are already. That merges. That's like a tier 1 belt there. And this is already tier 5. Like, that's also tier 5 there. I'm pretty sure that it just happens to be convenient to do tier 5 for steel there. Hang on, let me go up above and check that one out. Do have one other thing at the end there, the sulfur that needs to be tier 5ified. Okay, so there are 3... No, that's aluminum scrap. No, that's the wrong thing. Ah, here we are. No, it's 45 tons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like 13. Yeah, it's only like 500. Which is a lot less than tier 5, to be fair. It's just more than tier 4, so it needed to be tier 5. There's a lot of headway on that. That's fine, actually. Okay. So now for sulfur. Which, I don't remember which rate it was used at, and it probably was fine with the tier 4 belt, but hey. We're giving out free upgrades today, so it's going to include sulfur then. And that's done. Alright, and finally come tier 4 belt upgrades. For this here. So that'd be that belt and that belt. There's only 2 tier 4 belts over here that I need to upgrade, eh? Make that 3. Okay, upgrade that. Then upgrade that, that, and that. Alright. I'm not getting confused at all here, and then I'm not even going to bother with uranium. Hopefully I don't have to bother with uranium, that'd be very annoying. That and that, as well as that get upgraded. And then we'll start with coal. Oh, well, that already gets merged down to a tier 5, so that's probably fine. I mean, everything could be a tier 5 belt here for all that matters. It doesn't technically matter on the output, as long as after the storage buffer is completely fine. It doesn't matter if everything is a tier 5 belt going to the storage buffer. As long as everything is over capacity going to the storage buffer, that's technically all that matters. Alright, let's go back the other way here. Yeah, I think that's all tier 4 to tier 5 belt conversions done. Gosh, that's a lot. I got a lot more clouded aluminum there than I was anticipating. Here, let me drop a ton of this stuff out into the world right here. Build a solid aluminum pillar here. Let me step over a bit. And then we'll dump out the next row. And then we'll pick up as much of this encased industrial beam as possible. Like, it's a clouded aluminum ain't that valuable to us. We've got tons of that stuff. Like, literally, I picked up tons of that stuff to do that. So we got a ton of that stuff lying around. Which makes it not all that valuable to us, realistically. Alright. I've let a lot of this... There's a lot of dismantle crates around here. Oh god, the HUD is spammed with dismantle crates! Well, yeah, I apparently didn't think this through too much. I also didn't know exactly how much I would need, so I've gone overboard. Wait, was I... Oh no, wait, I technically... Okay, wait, I actually have to go through the... Caterium and upgrade this line, that's right. There we go, now I'm done. Hopefully that didn't... Yeah, that didn't generate any more. But, huh? Where did those come from? Oh no, those are just at the end of the... Okay. Oh, here's a bunch of dismantle crates. Containing like 8. If nearby dismantle crates could like combined together, that'd be great. Kind of like having items, I guess, on the like in Minecraft, and get items on the ground together. They get stacked, or there are multiple of the same item on the ground nearby. They stack together in a single larger stack. Hello. This stuff is everywhere. Don't act so surprised. You put it like this. And there's none others there, but there are some right here. Uh-huh. 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 Okay, well, I guess I go for these ones now. I wonder where the next ones are. Here's another set. Box in the middle of the belt. Ooh, apparently we're going this way. There's the box. Take these. Oh, no, dang it. I don't need that iron ore. Dismantle crates, which are quite possibly much farther away. Not nearly as relevant. Here's a dismantle crate. Okay. So a few. Jump down here and get some of these. Inventory just slowly filling up with this crap from my it's not really dismantling, but from my adventures of upgrades, or my upgrades and mis-upgraded advent. I don't know what I'm calling this stuff. Come on. There we go. Okay, I'm not seeing any dismantle crates down here. This was a bad idea. And now we're out of there. Probably not going to get them all, but get a bunch of them while I'm here. I bet there's a bunch outside. Actually, yeah, I've gotten most of them over this way. It's just like... Yeah, I think they're all outside, actually. So let's go outside and... Oh, here... As I was saying, here's a few of them. Take. These trains are doing funky things, guys. Hey, it's a busy train station. Trains are doing train things. A busy train station, albeit nothing is being unloaded at this moment in time. Because this factory is not currently operational. It's slowly building, buffering. Apparently wasn't finished. Oh, there's still dismantling. I'm probably going to spend a bunch of time off stream dismantling crates. Or grabbing dismantled crates. But anyhow, after I get a few more on the outside here, I will go and upgrade lower tier belts that also need to have their tiers upgraded. Starting with tier 3, because I have tier 4, but well, I mean, I think it's only other really tier 3 belts need to be upgraded. And I have their resources on me, the resources to do that upgrade on me right now. So, and hopefully I don't get into a situation where I have a fuck ton more dismantle crates to deal with then. Okay. Okay, are we back? Hello, hello. Okay. Network connection briefly dropped there again. I was wondering why my interactions weren't doing anything. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense now. Because there's a lot of dismantle crates out there. Anyhow, we're now upgrading tier 3 belts. Okay. This shouldn't be as bad in terms of getting a bunch of dismantle crates, because I have... Well, because I have... Hopefully... I've hopefully made the dismantling of the dismantle crates, okay. I have inventory space. That's what I'm talking about. Why couldn't I think? Why couldn't that come out? Ugh. I have inventory space to store the stuff that was going through dismantle crates. Okay, so there's a tier 3 there. Tier 3 there. Tier 3 there. Okay. Alright then. Oh, I've been streaming for 2 hours now, so once I get all these belts upgraded, that is going to be where I'm going to leave it. Okay. That probably didn't need to be tier 4 belted there, but whatever. It's not going to hurt, so... Upgrading these various belts is not going to be hurting anything, so it's not necessarily a bad thing to go through and do it, so could only help in the can only help as time goes on. Alright, so we got that one upgraded out. This one doesn't have anything other than tier 4 to begin with. And this here has a bunch of dismantle crates. Here, we'll... Crap. Got a piece of copper. Okay, I think this only has one tier 3 belt, and that's the one that had... Come on, get onto the platform. Thank you. That's pretty simple. There you go. Okay, perhaps... Okay, yes. Perhaps I should just, I'll do this off camera. I'll end the stream here, because the network clearly doesn't want me streaming anymore. I don't know. Weird interruptions are happening. So anyhow, I'll end it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to leave a like on the stream on your way out and subscribe, of course. But not until we reach 70 subscribers. Check out my game, which is linked in the description, and I will see you all in the next Satisfactory live stream, which is probably going to be Friday. Bye!